September of 2015, Nicola was home alone with the children. It was quite late, so the children were both in bed when suddenly someone started banging at the front door and looking through her windows. Nicola did not know this person and obviously refused the man's request to be let in. Not feeling safe, she called the police to report what was happening. Police were dispatched to the area after Nicola's 999 call, and also some other residents who had phoned about the man stating that he was acting erratically. Police detained the man and took him back to the station. The neighbours said that the man had knocked on their door, murmuring something about kids. This man's name, Marcin Porczynski, I hope I said that right, who moved to the UK only a few months before this to work as a mechanic. He did not know the family, but he did live nearby, just a few streets away. Although police had taken Martin to the station, they later released him that same night, saying they had no reason to hold him, saying he just appeared a little distance. They did not tell Nicola that they had released him, who was still shaken after the event. Martin returned to his house and was acting strange. Even his housemates were concerned and contemplated calling the police, a decision his housemate would later go on to regret not doing. At about 11:30 p.m, Martin left his house and began walking back to the house where Nicola was alone with her children. Only this time, he took a knife. But he first went to the wrong house and began to smash the patio door to the neighbour's property, who had just gotten out of the shower to find a deranged man in his house holding a knife. He shouted at Martin, "What are you doing here?" Martin turned and ran out of the house. Nicola was unaware of what had just transpired at her neighbour's. She had just called her husband to inform him of what had happened earlier. Her husband's name was Nicola Cross, and he was away on business at the time in Hull. He had just gotten into bed when Nicola had called. She told him about the man banging at their door earlier that night, and that he'd been looking through the windows. Daniel was obviously concerned, and the couple started discussing what they should do. He told her to get the children and go to his parents' house, just to be safe. However, before Nicola finished on the phone, Martin had made his way back to the house and began to break in through the back door. The neighbours had already called police to report Martin breaking into their house. While police were at a neighbour's property, they heard a loud crash followed by panicked screaming from the Cross household. Martin was in Nicola's house. All this time, Nicola's husband, Daniel, was still on the phone, listening to Nicola beg the person to leave. Daniel heard Nicola saying, "Get out of my house. What do you want?" He then heard Nicola scream, "You don't need to do this." Then Daniel heard a spine-tingling voice of a man in the background saying, "I do, I do." Then he heard a bone-chilling scream. Before silence. Martin had taken a second knife from the kitchen and stabbed Nicola 10 times. Reports suggested that Nicola would have been killed seconds after the first stab from the knife. Nicola died that night trying to protect her children, as Martin was there to take them. 320 kilometres or 200 miles away, Daniel helplessly listened from the other end of the phone. In a later interview, Daniel said after hearing Nicola's scream and then the silence, he knew his wife was dead, but he had no idea if his children were safe, so he stayed on the phone listening. Then he heard his children crying, so he knew that they were alive. Police had made their way into the house and immediately saw a small child who said, "He has hurt my mummy badly." The police found Nicola upstairs, covered in blood, and a broken kitchen knife in the bathroom. Police attempted CPR, but unfortunately it was too late. Nicola was already dead. The only saving grace being that the children were not physically harmed, but they were obviously traumatised. Martin was arrested for a second time. Apparently Martin had been hearing voices in his head telling him he needed to free some children that were in danger or his own family in Poland would be killed. Traces of cocaine and cannabis were found in Martin's system. After the murder, Martin was diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic and was held in Rampton High Security Hospital. He didn't have any previous mental health record, but it is thought that he started hearing voices about 2 years before he murdered Nicola. His family were completely in the dark about Martin's mental health issues. A man who lived with him said he had become worried over Martin's behaviour. 3 weeks before the murder, Martin failed to attend work for a week, and one night his housemate found Martin sitting in the garden alone in the dark. Of course, though, his housemate did not know how bad Martin's condition was or what evil act he would later go on to commit. In December of 2016, Martin denied the murder charge but admitted to a charge of manslaughter on the grounds of diminished responsibility. Martin was sentenced indefinitely to a psychiatric unit. Daniel filed a complaint against the police officers as they did not inform Nicola when they released Martin after his first attempt to break into their house. The investigators said that what the officers did that night was not misconduct and the police were cleared of any wrongdoing. Daniel made several statements. He said, "I was on the phone before, during and after. That phone call still plays over and over in my head, along with Nikki's screams and her pleading for her life. I will never forgive myself for not being there to protect her. I am totally and utterly heartbroken." The couple have been together for 11 years. There is an interview with Daniel on YouTube by Good Morning Britain. It is incredibly sad. He actually also appeared in Channel 4's SAS Who Dares Wins show, which I believe you can also find on YouTube. But that is all for the case of Nicola Cross. Thank you guys so much for listening today. I will try and get another one done really soon. I hope you have a great day. Bye.